Hi YouTube, welcome to another edition of Horror Hands, and for this video I'm going to go through 10 monster movies or creature features that gave their creature plenty of screen time. So my favourite subgenre of horror is monster movies, and really there's only one thing you have to do for me to enjoy these kind of films, and that is show the monster, which sounds simple, but it seems that more often than not, the filmmakers are very reluctant to get it out there on screen. They often hide it away in the shadows or have these fast cutaways, and you just don't see it. And I often find myself shouting at the screen, "Show the monster!" But these are 10 films that, at least in my memory, I remember not having a problem with how little the monster was on screen, and actually I remember lots and lots of times when it was on screen and you got a good look at it, and it made for a really fun and entertaining creature feature. So the first movie, starting with an old one actually, black and white, it's 20 Million Miles to Earth, which has the awesome Ymir monster, I think is how you say it, which starts out small and then for the course of the film grows and turns into a giant monster that goes round, I think it might be, is it Venice? It goes around some European city destroying things and fighting with other animals. And yeah, this one gets lots and lots of screen time. And what I thought was cool about this one is it's stop motion from Ray Harryhausen. And I remember thinking it must have taken them ages to do these effects because the monster is on screen so much and does so much varied things. They really must have had to put in the hours to create all the movements for the creature. And he goes around destroying big buildings and things like that. I think at one point he even has a fight with an elephant, which is all stop motion. So really cool stuff. And yeah, you do see this monster up close, doing all kinds of things throughout the whole film. So really cool stuff there from that one. Okay, next up is one of my favourites, and that is Humanoid from the Deep. So these sea monsters come on shore to attack this town, and they're pretty much in it all the way through the film. You see them running around on the beach, snatching up women. You see close-ups of their face and the slimy mouths and things like that. And then later in the film, they invade this like carnival, and there's just loads of them running around, killing people, biting them, scratching them up, that kind of thing. And you see sort of full body shots of the monsters and things like that, and lots of close-ups of them. It's really cool. One of my favourite B-movie monster movies of all time anyway. And yeah, one where you see plenty of humanoids running around, messing people up. So yeah, great movie. Right, next up is Insect, which is a really cool monster movie set in a hospital. Steve Railsback has to combat this like sort of like praying mantis like monster that's it's another one that grows from being small to this big giant thing. And it takes a while to get going, but the film's enjoyable from the start. But yeah, it takes a while to get going, but then sort of halfway through the movie you get this giant big slimy like I say, praying mantis type thing, which is sort of running around the hospital and going through the corridors like this, and it's all pretty cool stuff, and it looks really good. There's some great practical effects and gooey effects and things like that. So this one was a really cool movie. So next up is Island of the Fishmen, one that you don't hear about all that much. This one's very similar to Humanoid from the Deep, similar looking monsters on this one. And if I remember right, people get shipwrecked or they find themselves on this like tropical island, and there's a scientist doing experiments creating these fishmen like creatures. It's a pretty good film, and I just remember seeing them running around a lot throughout the whole movie. Like I say, very similar to Humanoid from the Deep. If you like that one, you'll probably enjoy this one as well. And I watched this one with my dad, so I have fond memories of this one. So yeah, that one was a really fun creature feature. Next up we have the very popular monster squad. So yeah, lots of monster screen time in this one, and we're treated to not just one monster but numerous different ones. Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, the Wolfman, Gillman. They all look absolutely fantastic and get plenty of screen time. They get lots of screen time all together, and they get like little individual segment scenes. I've said before, but it's one of the most enjoyable horror movies ever. One of the greatest 80s movies ever. Very entertaining. Not a dull minute in the Monster Squad. And like I say, one of the great things is you get numerous different creatures all doing things in this one. So yeah, that one is very cool. Next up, we have one that I don't hear people talk about actually at all, and that is Mosquito, which is a very, very fun creature feature about a giant mosquito, or hordes of them, I think, and they attack. I think they're in like this camping area, and they attack all the people in the vicinity. And there's some really good, like, over the top practical effects and things like that. Really fun movie, and as I say, one that goes very much under the radar. But yeah, I'm just looking. There is it's from the people that did The Blob, Prince of Darkness, and They Live. So yeah, a movie that was in very, very safe hands. And yeah, as I say, there's some really good practical effects, some great giant mosquito effects, and if I remember right, they start to like inject their victims, and there's a few like head explosions and things like that. Really good stuff. Very good, like, popcorn movie is Mosquito. I can really enjoy that. I really recommend that one if you want just like a mindless, fun creature feature. Okay, next up, another one of my absolute favourites, Night Beast. This is probably the quintessential monster movie for a monster film that has lots of screen time. Within about 30 seconds, the Night Beast is out and about, tearing into people, pulling people's guts out, shooting people with laser guns. It's such a fun film. Very, very much a low budget B movie. But if you, like me, if you just want take your brain out, monster action, you don't care about believable characters or anything like that, you just want to see the monster, Night Beast is the film for you. It's a great film and very entertaining in that respect. So highly recommend that for those reasons. Okay, next up we have Octoman, which is about these workers. They work in, I can't think where they are now, maybe South America or something. They're working by this lake, and they stumble upon this Octoman creature, and they sort of mess around and do stuff, and the Octoman comes out and starts killing them all one by one. Impossible to take it seriously. It is a guy in a rubber octopus suit with just hanging octopus arms that move around as he walks. It is early Rick Baker though. Rick Baker did design the Octoman, so there is a bit of skill behind it. But again, similar to Night Beast, there's no real story or anything going on in here. Just this Octoman clumsily climbing out of the river and walking towards sort of screaming women. But he gets plenty of screen time, lots and lots of screen time, lots of close-up shots of him coming out of the water, and then he starts to walk around on land freely, and it's nothing but kind of rubber suit goodness, right up my street. So if you like me, I don't think you'll be disappointed with Octoman. Next up, we have Pumpkinhead, which is another movie from my childhood, one that I really enjoy discovering on TV. They used to play it late at night on TV, and I've always really enjoyed this film. And the Pumpkinhead creature is fantastic, and we get some really good shots of the monster. It's pretty powerful, pretty kind of angry kind of monster, and you get some really good full body shots of him. He's big, he's tall, and looks very imposing, and always looks really impressive in the scenes that he's in. And yeah, Pumpkinhead anyway is just a really good film. Kind of a bit different to the other films on this list because it is rather serious and rather dark as well in what it does. It's not like a take your brain out one that a lot of these other ones are. This does have a serious storyline and some very dark tones, and the monster kind of suits that because it's big and in your face and you get to see it a lot, but it's not to be messed with. It's not a guy tripping about in a rubber suit. So yeah, really cool stuff. And then the last one on the list of movies that give their monster plenty of screen time is Troll, which I actually watched recently for the first time, and pretty much every scene in this film is peppered with numerous troll creatures, all of which are sort of like rubber puppets and latex and animatronics, and they're just everywhere. They're everywhere in this movie. Every single scene, there's some kind of troll popping out from somewhere or attacking someone, and there's these really good lingering close-up shots of trolls doing things, sort of trolls emerging from like the slimy trolley lair, that kind of thing. There's a giant monster at the end. So again, if you're like me and you appreciate practical monster effects, Troll is for you. It's almost just like a compilation, if you will, one scene after another of practical latex monsters mixed up in this really wild fairy tale plot. Really enjoyable stuff. So that is 10 monster movies that I think I at least remember the monster having plenty of screen time. So let me know what you think of this, guys. Do you agree? And if there's any other creature features monster movies that you thought had lots of screen time, definitely let me know. I will check them out immediately. So thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.